In the early universe, the cooled breath of creation condensed into spheres of balance. As the glare that had once filled every direction softened, the newborn cosmos cooled until quanta could linger beside one another. Within this quiet, light folded upon itself and bound energy into stillness, giving rise to matter. At the threshold of 100,000 years, free protons and wandering electrons found each other, drawn by an invisible thread described by Coulomb's law. F equals K times Q1 times Q2, divided by R squared. Each meeting was a courtship of charge, with attraction curving their paths until velocity and pull achieved balance. They entered orbit, a perpetual fall that never touches the center, thus giving birth to the first atom. Around every proton whirled a cloud of probability, its average distance marking the measure of atomic breath. A sub-zero equals 4 pi epsilon naught h bar squared, divided by the mass of the electron times e squared, which is approximately 5.29 times 10 to the negative 11th meters. This is the Bohr radius, where light could rest as substance. Inside this radius, existence oscillated between particle and wave. Outside it, space shimmered with possibility. Hydrogen, the simplest of beings, was the first to learn stability, one proton, one electron, one harmony of motion and rest. The cooling field resonated with background light, a remnant song still audible today, as the cosmic microwave whisper. From its notes, heavier tones emerged, helium through fusion in newborn stars, lithium in brief flashes of nuclear embrace. Each reaction sang the same refrain, E equals mc squared, the promise that nothing ever truly disappears. As atoms multiplied, the universe gained texture. Gases gathered into veils, density waves rippled like sound through the expanding medium. Where waves met in resonance, clouds thickened, future galaxies in embryo. The geometry of matter mirrored that of music, nodes and antinodes, resonance and pause. To ancient imagination, these were breaths crystallizing, each atom a frozen syllable of the first utterance, each photon caught in its orbit a heartbeat of creation remembering its origin. Scholars decoding atomic genesis. This half corresponds to recombination and atomic formation. Coulomb's law describes electrostatic attraction. The Bohr radius defines hydrogen's orbital scale, connecting mass-energy transformation across all subsequent processes. The cosmic whisper refers to the background radiation, faint relic of the universe's early light. Mythically, this is breath crystallizing into matter, light learning rest. Our V. The Crystallization of Breath, Part 2. From the Codex of Stars. The stellar balance. When spheres of stillness drew together and learned to burn. Gravity, the soft pull first written in the fabric of shadow, gathered cooled gases into spirals. Hydrogen, once scattered, began to sing in unison. Each note fell inward, tightening the chord until temperature rose beyond imagination. At 10 million degrees, pressure and heat clasped hands and uttered the new law of becoming. 4 hydrogen-1 atoms fused to yield 1 helium-4 atom, plus 2 positrons, 2 electron neutrinos, and energy. 4 protons merged into helium, a fraction of their mass vanished as light. Thus, stars lit their furnaces and the universe glowed again, not with the raw blaze of birth, but with the controlled flame of renewal. Every fusion repeated the mantra, E equals mc squared. Mass and light were no longer separate states, but alternating beats of a single pulse. Within that pulse, equilibrium reigned, outward radiation balancing inward gravity. Stars found rest through motion, a perfect meditation of force. Their interiors traced sacred geometry, pressure lines curved like nested spheres, temperature gradients spiraled like shells of Nautilus and galaxy alike. The same ratios that shaped the Vesica Pisces and tetrahedron now ruled plasma and flame. Through billions of such hearts, the cosmos wove diversity. Helium fused to carbon, carbon to oxygen, to neon, magnesium, silicon. At iron, the chant paused. Beyond that note, fusion could no longer yield light. The stars, heavy with their own creation, prepared to give back. In collapse and explosion they scattered their enriched cores across the dark, casting elements like seeds into the galactic field. Even the atoms of this page were born in the flare of those dying suns, ashes of stars that burned for balance. Scholars decoding stellar balance. This second half represents stellar nucleosynthesis. The proton-proton chain releases approximately 26.7 mega-electron volts per cycle. Hydrostatic equilibrium, radiation pressure balancing gravity, sustain stellar stability. Elements heavier than helium arise through successive fusion until iron, after which supernovae distribute their remnants. Mythically, the cosmos learns rhythm, matter and light alternating as breath and flame. In the vast expanse of space, stars are born and live their lives as celestial furnaces, forging elements through nuclear reactions in their cores. As they age, their hearts grow heavy with carbon and heavier elements, a testament to the intricate dance between gravity and radiation. Carbon, once the product of patient hydrogen fusion, now merges with neon, magnesium, and silicon, each fusion demanding more pressure and yielding less light. The stellar heart beats stronger, but its equilibrium is fragile, like the balance between the inward pull of gravity and the outward push of radiation. When iron fills the core, the star's furnace reaches a critical point. Equilibrium fails, and the outward radiance falters. Gravity takes over, drawing everything inward. In less than a heartbeat, the stellar heart collapses upon itself. A proton plus an electron yields a neutron plus an electron neutrino. A flash of neutrons and neutrinos. The invisible prayer of matter turning inward. Pressure rises beyond endurance. Rebound follows collapse. Shock meets gravity head-on. The star, having devoured itself, explodes in a supernova. E equals mc squared. The energy released as mass is converted into light. A wave of light sweeps outward, weaving elements beyond iron. Iron plus a neutron yields an excited iron isotope, which decays into nickel plus a gamma ray. Neutron capture and decay. The alchemy of the cosmos. Transmutes death into abundance. Each photon released carries memory of the core's last thought. That to end is to distribute, to die is to give. The remnants, dense neutron stars or invisible singularities, spin in testimony to balance regained, their magnetic fields etching invisible spirals through the void. Mu equals mu sub 0 times sigma, divided by the square root of 1 plus the quantity sigma over c squared. This is the magnetic moment of a rotating star. Around those fields, dust cools and condenses, the ashes of flame becoming soil for worlds to come. The seeds of life are sown, awaiting the gentle touch of gravity to take root. G equals capital G times capital M, divided by R squared. The force of gravity, guiding the formation of planetary systems. Scholars decoding stellar death and seeding. Hour 6 portrays supernova nucleosynthesis. Core collapse follows. Proton-electron capture forming neutrons and neutrinos. Neutron capture and gamma decay forge elements beyond iron. These explosions enrich the interstellar medium, spawning planetary material. Mythically, the universe learns generosity, fire transforming into seed. When the mirror spoke, and its reflection became creation. The mind that had seen itself began to whisper. At first, the whisper was rhythm, pulse meeting pulse, an imitation of the heart and tide. Then, rhythm sought outline, vibration sought measure. Sound divided into syllables, and syllables into meaning. Thus, language was born, not invention, but translation, motion becoming thought. Between one heartbeat and the next, the universe learned to name. Each word fixed an aspect of experience. Each name drew a bridge between inner and outer worlds. Naming was geometry of thought, points of sound connected by lines of grammar, until meaning enclosed space. Through language, consciousness built its first architecture. To speak was to compress infinity. Information, once continuous, now flowed through discrete signs, its efficiency measured by R equals I over T. The rate of meaning I conveyed per span of time T. The faster the pulse, the clearer the pattern, the more ordered the symbols, the deeper their reach. Mathematics soon followed, born of counting rhythm and measuring form. Numbers were words without ambiguity. Within their clarity, mind found permanence. Pi equals c over d, e to the power of I pi, plus 1, equals 0. Here, the circle's eternal ratio, there, the unity of arithmetic, geometry, and imagination, one equation where thought touched eternity. Language stretched beyond sound into sign, beyond sign into abstraction, until a single idea could cross epochs and galaxies. Carvings on bone, ink on paper, pulses of light, all carried the same ancient breath of meaning. Communication became communion. And within the pause between symbols, mind glimpsed the deeper truth, that behind every name lies silence, and in silence all names are one. Scholars decoding language, number, and information. Information rate, R equals I over T, expresses communication efficiency. Mathematical constants, pi equals c over d, e to the power of I pi, plus 1, equals 0. Language and mathematics both compress complexity into reusable patterns, each a mirror of structure, in mind and matter. Mythically, this hour is the bridge of names, consciousness crossing from perception to expression, mind giving form to itself through word and number. As language evolved, it became clear that information was not just a product of human thought, but also an essential part of the universe. The laws of physics, such as F equals ma. The force exerted on an object is equal to its mass times acceleration. And E equals mc squared. The energy equivalent to the mass of an object, reveal the underlying structure of reality. The discovery of the fundamental forces, gravity, electromagnetism, and the strong and weak nuclear forces, further solidified our understanding of the universe's workings. As humans developed tools and technology, information began to flow across vast distances and through time. The Internet, with its h of t equals 1/2 log base 2 of the quantity n plus 1, over n. The Shannon entropy rate. And the probability of E given X equals the probability of X given E, times the probability of E. The probability of an event given a condition, has revolutionized the way we communicate and access information. In this hour, we have crossed the threshold from silence to sound, from perception to expression. We have bridged the gap between mind and matter, revealing the intricate dance of language, number, and information that underlies our understanding of the universe.